Let's get started. All right, so welcome to the Drive Direct Booking Demand. I'm Jamie Frausto, founder of Hotelia. For the next half hour, I'm going to show you how independent hotels can take back their direct bookings, keep 100% of their revenue, and actually earn more on every stay. So for this demo, I'm going to walk you through a few slides and I'm going to show you exactly how you can earn more revenue. You can ask questions throughout the whole demo, but I'll get to them towards the end, just so you know. And if I don't get to your questions, I'll follow up via email so you have an answer either way. And this session is being recorded, so if you need to refer back to it, I'm going to send you a copy as well so you can look back and see if there's anything else you want to revisit. Let's get into it. Again, I'm your host. I found Hotelia for many reasons that I'd love to share with you. I did spend years operating hotels, primarily with Marriott brands. So I've lived the revenue side of things of the business. I've also been on the customer experience side at Airbnb, and I've been a host myself. So I've seen both worlds from the marketplace side of things and the independent operator. After my time at Airbnb, I did spend the last decade building products in the booking space. So think co-working spaces, virtual meetings, tourism events, appointments. I started building Hotelia because I saw a gap in the industry, right? Operators don't have insights into who's arriving when they book through OTAs unless they have like a really robust system, which often they don't. And also OTAs are eating at their margins up to 30%. So Hotelia is the product that I wish I had when I was running a hospitality operation. And it's also the booking engine I think operators deserve today. And just to wrap it up, I'm based here in Denver, and honestly, I just love to seek out special independent properties, enjoy them, and learn how to serve them. Now, I'm going to jump right into what is Hotelia. So the easiest, simplest way to say it is it's everything an independent hotel needs to run direct, all in one place. It's not just a booking widget bolted into a legacy system. Hotelia is the new way. It's three things working together: a booking engine, a checkout your guests actually complete on your site and on your brand, property management, so reservations, payments, guest requests all live in one screen, and a revenue builder, upsells that are built right into the flow at the time of booking, pre-arrival, at check-in, during the stay. So there's definitely more under the hood, but those are the three pillars that I'm going to dive into today. Now, before we go into questions about integrations, I just want to get this out of the way because people ask me this all the time. All integrations are included. You don't pay extra to connect tools that you already have and you're already paying for. Your Hotelia widget comes with its own property management on the back end, Stripe for guest payments and deposits, Klaviyo for email marketing, Google Analytics all built in, and we're shipping more soon. HubSpot, Price Labs for dynamic pricing, Seam for remote key management, and Channel Manager, which we know is essential for hotels. The big thing here is there is no transaction fees, no surprises on the billing invoice. With Hotelia, you only pay one flat fee every month. But let's go ahead and get started with the booking engine because we built it to convert. Now, it's the single most important page on your website, and it's where guests decide to pay the hotel directly or to pay the marketplace. We built it to convert. So when I say that, that means we made it really fast. A guest goes from your landing page to a confirmed reservation in 3 clicks. They pick their dates, their guests, and the room with real photos, add any extras they want to better their stay, and the hotel makes more. When they confirm, they pay up front, submit a deposit at check-in. So there's no friction, no redirect, and no reason to bounce over to an OTA. Now, you can put that booking engine wherever it converts best. It's one line of code, 3 ways to use it, always on your existing site, your domain, your brand, with no redirect to a third party. Let me show you each one really quickly. The first option is the pop-up. You can place it anywhere on your website. You can center it, dock it off to the side, and it stays on your hotel's URL, so your guests are never redirected. A dedicated page. Paste the embed code on your website, just like in this example. And you can also put buttons around your website just so it's a natural home for people to click and figure out where the best way to book is naturally for them. Now, the inline button here, and I can't wait to show you this live as well. You can drop a button anywhere on your website. If people are navigating your website when they're exploring your offerings and your gallery of rooms, drop another button to book that stay. When they click on this inline button, the Hotelia pop-up will come up with all of your inventory and availability, so the rooms get quickly booked. Now, here is where it gets really interesting, and I would say is very essential and one of the most important tools that I see some hotel platforms miss, which is the revenue builder. A booking is where your guests say yes. The revenue builder is how that yes becomes worth more. Let's say a room for 2 nights is $318 at checkout. You offered some things they'd like, flowers, wine pairing, a tour guide, and easily just like that, the room reservation has gone up $200 and is now a $527 stay in this example, right? So that's more for the hotel, a better trip for the guest. And there's a big difference when I think about this, about taking a reservation and growing it. The difference is they make the memory and you make the margin. Now, behind all of this is your property management, your whole operation in one screen, check-ins, checkouts, occupancy, daily revenue, all in one page, your 7-day performance for your revenue per available room, average daily rate, occupancy with the forecast. Now, here's my favorite part as well. As you can see here, when a returning guest books, their preferences and add-ons are resurfaced. So as the operator, you know exactly what suite they love. If they take breakfast, do they want a specific quiet floor? Personalized suggestions on the guest profile so you can improve the stay. So when a guest books directly to your hotel using Hotelia, couple things are on your side. You own the guest data and you always know who is arriving. And with that information at your fingertips, you can create customized offers and build relationships that drive repeat customers. With Hotelia, you can also choose between offering a hands-on check-in experience or a completely self-check-in experience. You can automatically deliver a room code at check-in and they're in their room without any friction or waiting at the front desk. Now, here's a little bonus one that I like to keep for last because I think it's a feature that still surprises people, but it's the AI booking assistant. We made this because we do want the AI to help the hotel and the operators run more efficiently. So now with the AI, what you can do is simply take a booking in a sentence, tell it who's coming, when, and it'll quickly create the reservation and send out the confirmations. So your AI never gets between you and the guest. Now, here's why we built Hotelia. We talked about the what. Now let's talk about the why. And this one is a little personal for me because when I was operating, obviously I got to know a huge community of independent hoteliers or people who were renting out multiple properties. And I kept hearing the same thing, which is they're paying a lot of fees to OTAs like Booking.com or Airbnb, just to name a few. And the booking engine, which is the most important, always routed that guest to the other platform's URL. So it's different brand. So naturally, those guests are going to rebook on those platforms. So that is a big problem because people rebook, right? And they lose out up to 30% of that reservation, even when it's people who've already found them before. So Hotelia exists to fix that. Now, it really comes down to three problems that we've identified as the biggest pain points, which we've talked about the fees that the OTAs take anywhere from 15 to 30%. You'll never get that back. Secondly, the guest relationship. Through an OTA like Booking.com or Airbnb, you're messaging the guests through the platform. You don't have their contact information unless they've checked in already and you've asked for that up front. And the guest is happy to provide that all over again. In some cases, not very much. But lastly is the rebook percentage. If somebody has already found you, repeat guests should rebook through you, not the OTA. When they book through the OTA again, they're paying commission again, even if they've already stayed with you. So we've heard these pain points the most from operators. So this is definitely something that we're listening to closely. Now, who is this for? Hotelia isn't for everyone, and that's on purpose, but it is built for properties 5 to 60 rooms in that range. Independent boutique hotels, inns, lodges, retreats, creative people using their properties for creative spaces also works for them, but it's mostly for operators who are running the property themselves or with a small team, and they want to know exactly who's coming in and manage the operation, own that relationship, and keep building it from there. So this is definitely something that we've built for the smaller boutique hotels. It's for them and only for them. Not ideas stripped down from enterprise systems designed for chains. It's feedback that we've heard. It's exactly what you want, not everything else that's going to bloat the operation. Now, two ways that Hotelia helps grow your bottom line. This brings me to the heart of it. The two ways Hotelia grows your bottom line. First, you keep 100% of every reservation with 0% commission on every booking, always. Every dollar the guest pays goes right into the Stripe account. No revenue share, no booking fees, no transaction fees. Second, you earn more per guest. The revenue builder adds upsells to every booking that actually deliver more with things guests actually want. It makes it easier and convenient and more memorable. So definitely keep that in mind as you build out your add-ons. And we have a whole topic that we're going to cover on add-ons in a different webinar. So definitely stay tuned for that as well. At the end of the day, it's more margin for the hotel and happier guests, but the hotel keeps everything, the add-on revenue and the stay revenue. That's the whole idea. So how does it work? You can be live in the same day. You don't need a developer. Trust me, I promise. There's just 3 steps. If you need extra help, our team is here to help you at no cost. We onboard you, and as your partner, we make sure that you're ready to go. You connect your Stripe in one tap. So when you do that, you become the merchant of the record with funds settling straight into your bank account. You add your rooms, your add-ons, your photos, your rates, plus the upsells that make your property special, set up your tax rules built in, and then drop that widget, which is one line of code on your existing site. That could be Squarespace, WordPress, Wix, custom. There's no redirect, no matter what website you use. And that's it. Once you do these steps, you can be live the same day. Now, why does this matter? And I just wanted to show some quick math here to show you how it really feels as well. A $1,000 booking is now being commissioned 200 versus with Hotelia, you keep the entire revenue of the room and add-ons. So you're actually growing that booking. On the earnings side, the revenue builder is adding to every booking, as we can see here, just those add-ons just to make that experience a bit more enjoyable and convenient. Like I said earlier, they make the memory, you make the margin. Now, OTAs have their place. They are discovery engines. They do put your hotel in front of travelers who'd never find you otherwise. That's the real value of OTAs. And I'm not here to tell you to turn off the OTAs, but once a guest knows your brand, your hotel, they found you online, it should be yours. Side by side, it's simple. The commission, 0 versus 15 up to 30%, guest data yours versus theirs, your brand versus the marketplace listing. A direct relationship, built-in upsells only on your side. Again, both of these scenarios have their place, but only one is yours. Now, enough with the slides, guys. Thanks for bearing with me. Let me get into the actual product and show you this live. I'm going to walk you through 4 things today. The booking engine, the revenue builder, the upsells inside of it, the owner dashboard, and how you can see your live numbers on your screen. So I'll just go ahead and start with the guest experience and take it from there. Now, here, what I'm showing you is a hotel website. There is more than one button throughout the website. So before I jump into the experience, I do want to mention that it is important to have an updated website to make sure that you have clear information, that it's interactive, that your guests can see pictures, click into them and see them clearly and know exactly about the area and maybe answer some questions ahead of time before they book. This alleviates some of that decision making and gets them quicker to that booking. So what I'm showing you first is the dedicated page. So we have Hotel Marlowe is the hotel. It's still on brand. And here's our dedicated booking page. You simply embed this code and it'll pull up your live availability. Once you start entering dates and entering your number of guests, it'll show you what's truly available on that day. And I think that's super awesome because you can see all their inventory, but then we narrow it down depending on your dates. I think that also is good for them to see that there are options for other dates if they were flexible as well. But they simply select a room after they view pictures here and move on to the booking process. So I'll just select one. So as you can see here, they can still go through images here and they've made that decision. The next step is those add-ons. Before they actually book the stay, you can quickly sell something enticing to them. The remote work setup, I think this is really amazing for people who are traveling for business or welcome toast. Often not, guests are making a quick run to go get a bottle of wine, but if you had one for them, that would alleviate some time. Next step, which is the third step, to summarize and make the payment. But as you can see here, I mean, I'm quickly just tapping on the add-ons that I want, and I'm moving on to the third step. Now, the third step here is just going to be a quick summary of the booking with any add-ons, the dates, any hotel taxes, fees that are built in through Stripe. If you offer a promo code, they can redeem that as well. Simply enter your information here, and voila, it's booked. With Hotelia, the great thing about this is you can choose when people book through your website to collect payments upfront. Why collect payments later? And during check-in, they can just pay for the deposit. This reduces the cancellation, or maybe they'll change their dates a little later. And you're guaranteed a reservation, so you spend that time and energy getting ready for it. So I'm just going to add a request here. I'm just going to make this up. I'm going to say extra pillows. I'm just making this up. But what I want to show you is that when you do funnel this information into the booking form, it goes directly into the Hotelia backend, where you can see it in the reservation and it automatically creates assignments for your team as well. Just go through that process and accept the terms. You can always review them again here. It's in a couple places, and just make that booking. Now, I'm going to jump over to the Hotelia backend. Now, as you can see here, this is just a quick overview of everything you need to know in that day. A couple things that are essential and important is your arrivals, of course, of the day. So every morning, operators come in here and they check who's checking in and who's checking out, right? And there are a couple of room types that have more than one, so you can quickly select the one that's available and get them going. You can also see the source where the reservation came from, whether that's to the website, you made the booking directly at the hotel. In the future, when we have the channel manager, we will be able to filter those labels and see if they came from booking.com or Airbnb as well. But you can quickly assign any available rooms, get them going, get everything planned out for the day, and check them in. I'm going to just show you here. You can, in the check-in modal, you'll see here that payment has already been collected for this booking. So all you need to do at check-in, simply get their information, their deposit, upload their ID, and move on to your add-ons. Guests also have a way to self-check-in where they follow the same steps as well. Now you can see here on customer requests, these are all built in and provided by the guest during the time of booking. Simply assign them, start them, and get those requests completed before your guests arrive, or maybe it's during their stay as well. The next thing I want to show you, again, this is just everything you need to know about the day. Is what I do know is that operators are obsessed. They want to know exactly what's going on at the property at all time. So we give you insights so you can quickly check what's going on at your property. Is the task done? Did somebody check in? Did a new reservation come in? So you get all of that at your fingertips. Obviously, you have your reservations guest log where you can view all your arrivals arriving today, in the past, or in the future. You can manage your room settings if you want to make a quick change. And you can also know exactly what's online, what's available, what's occupied, so you know exactly the status of every room type. Housekeeping is also automated. If you need a room cleaned out throughout the day, maybe there's checkout, it's already, so it's just helpful to know when things are done and how long it took. That also helps with performance as well. Same thing with maintenance. Now, analytics, it is built in, and you can see your revenue per room type, your add-on revenue, and a record of how you're doing every week, week by week. And one thing that you can also see here is the forecast and revenue optimization. So you always know when you could be selling more and how you can potentially change your rates depending on your own booking patterns. Now, let's bring it back to the slides real quick, because I can go through Hotelia further, more and more. But the reason why I believe hotels should choose Hotelia is not only the 0% commission, but we are built to help you convert more, help you convert quicker. You earn more per guest. You own the guest data, and you can go live on the same day. Literally, you can run Hotelia on your cell phone. Now, for those who have attended, and I know we have consultants here as well. I'm so excited to get your feedback on this one. But after this webinar, I'll also be sending you a guide on 5 ways hotels can drive more demand to their websites. It's a very practical playbook, so you can fill up your rooms with your direct booking channel. So more traffic straight to your website. Now, one thing before I let you guys go is I do want to thank you guys for being here and for your time today. It means a lot, and I really truly believe Hotelia is the future. And I also want to share Hotelia's current offer, which is right now you can sign up for Hotelia for free for 30 days, and you can start earning more of your revenue, keeping it, and earning more from every stay. And if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them now.
Just while I have you, I saw there was an option for promo code, and I'm curious what type of promos that we could see within the book. I know there's like non-refundable is your traditional, or maybe stay some nights and save. So I was just kind of curious to promotions in the booking engine and what those look like.
Yeah, absolutely. Great question, Thomas. Some things that independent hotels are doing to drive some of that repeat traffic is that they're sending out their own promotions. I am seeing a lot of hotels saying, hey, stay 2 nights, get 1 free. That can work for some properties, but I can also see that being a long commitment, but that is working. Another thing that I am seeing is people are saying, hey, if you stayed with us before, get this 10% discount, or use this code and we'll apply a voucher to your add-ons, for example, 50% off your add-ons. And that just entices people to buy more. So I would advise people in hotels to think strategically. People don't necessarily care about the discount if the room rate is already affordable and they're comfortable with that, but they do care about
Hmm.
what else could I
Hmm.
get? For example, maybe you sell a voucher that gets them $100 certificate at a dinner. That could also be a really great experience.
Absolutely. So with the OTA, sometimes that's like bargaining power that you have up 20% of margin. Booking direct could offer is value, whether that be like a voucher, restaurant, like you said, the $100 card, for example, could be more valuable than if they booked $1,000 reservation on TA. They would actually save some money there, per your example.
So there's definitely a lot of things hotels can do. 'Cause I hear a lot of people
Mhm.
say, well, I need the OTAs. Yes, you do, but you also need your number one channel, which is your website. Again, right now, the industry is shifting towards a more independent model. They're doing their own social media, they're doing their own marketing, they're running their own operation. And I think they have been underserved with the larger
Mhm.
chains taking a lot of that marketing and budget, these platforms as well that they partner with. So Hotelia is aiming to be the direct channel and help people have those strategies so that they can keep winning more.
Absolutely. It's really how have you optimized your stream of those reservations? A lot of times people are just looking like the cheapest rate. And if it just so happens to be with the best value, it's kind of a no-brainer as the shopper. However, with the OTAs, just marking down member discounts and stuff like that, it's like your partner, but also you're competing with yourself to get your own reservations. So I definitely see Hotelia as a tool and a resource that could be utilized for direct bookings. And like we're talking about, it's the future for independent hotels.
I should say for any hotel operators that might see this on YouTube, with Hotelia, you don't have to pay a dollar until you're set up, you're earning some, you're fully implemented. You don't have to pay anything. So I will leave a link on the description as well, where you can contact me. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, reach out, and we'll answer any question. And Thomas, I'm glad you're here. You're working with independent hotels too. Is there anything you'd like to share before we end?
Oh, thank you for asking. And it's really optimized for your best mission, the best representation of who you are. And it's really a partnership with the independent property to help them versus, hey, we'll take a revenue share and good luck.
Thomas, you bring up so many valid points. I know maybe on the next webinar we could dive in deep. But for anybody who is going to watch this later on, thanks for your time. Send us some messages. Again, I'll drop in the description where you can connect with us and have a great day. I hope to hear from you.